Hello YouTube, what is going on? I am the Ubercharged Spy, and while you're waiting on my first countdown, I thought I'd discuss something about Smash Bros. That just recently came up. I'm here joined with my friend Salvador, say hi.
Hello.
And we're going to discuss the ESRB leak, or the 4chan leak, however you know it. For those of you who don't know, this leak came out, I believe about a week ago, and it came out with a full roster shot. And what happened was that it predicted 5 more characters. Was it 4 or 5, Salvador?
I don't think so. Last than I remember, I think it was 5.
Yeah, I think it was... Oh, here. Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario, Dark Pit, the Duck Hunt Dog, and Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles. And it said that Dr. Mario and Dark Pit would be clones, and the rest would be new characters. So, starting out, what do you think of the possibility of these characters to begin with? Like, how likely do you think each of these characters are?
Well, Dr. Mario was already in the previous installment, so it's whether or not they want to bring him back.
Yeah, but he seemed like he'd be more of a, an alternate costume. You wouldn't really think of him as a completely unique character, even though, from what I remember, in Melee, he was much stronger than the base Mario.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I can see him, like, there's a lot, from all the characters from Melee people want back. A lot of people want, like, Mewtwo or Roy back. I don't hear a lot of people clamoring for Dr. Mario, so it's kind of weird to see him back. Especially with Bowser Jr., because that would give Mario 7 representatives, not kind of spin-off.
Yeah, because it really wouldn't, I can see him working into it, but then again, he's a clone. And the popularity of other characters being called for, compared to what Dr. Mario has, it's insignificant. I mean, I understand that he might be a little bit diverse, but if he's going to be a clone, I don't really see the point in having him in game, unless he has a different ultimate. Because if he doesn't have a final smash that's different from Mario, what is the difference? I mean, Luigi has his own particular moveset, and they share some of it, but last time I checked in Melee, didn't Dr. Mario basically have the exact same moveset?
Well, yes, but with different properties. Kind of like, think of Marth Lucina. Marth's power is centered at the tip of his sword, which is why, like, in Brawl he has, instead of like the slashing shield breaker, he now has like a little stabbing shield breaker, because it focuses the power on the tip of his sword and makes it easier to hit with the tip. Lucina has all of her power spread evenly throughout her sword, according to Sakurai, so like, they have different properties, but you'll hit one hit with them in different sweet spots and different times. It makes a difference in the long run, especially to competitive players.
I can see that point.
I guess I can kind of understand Mario having 7 reps, because it is Nintendo's most important franchise.
Oh yeah, that is very true.
Pokemon had 6 in the last game if you count all the Pokemon trainers Pokemon separately, and that's more than Mario had.
Yeah, that's very true. But Pokemon is also one of their best.
True, like whenever I consider like the big 3 in Nintendo, I think Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon had installments back all the way to like, Nintendo 64. I remember playing games on that, and that was years ago.
Pokemon dated all the way back to, I believe, the Game Boy Color.
I thought it was Game Boy Color. Dang, that was a long time ago.
I will say, I guess when you're talking about Dr. Mario's Final Smash, it'd be weird to see, just that the Mario finale made of pills, but equally weird to see it made of fire. Like, it could be made up, like, one stream of red viruses and one stream of blue overlapping, I guess.
Who knows? I mean, originally Dr. Mario was a Tetris game.
Yeah, it was like similar to Tetris, like, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Tetris game, so maybe they could summon some Tetris pieces or something? But, I mean, perhaps, it's all possible.
I mean, I've seen people clamor for Tetris with its own character, but...
Yeah, of course. Okay, moving on. Okay, what's your opinion of Dark Pit? Because I know you love him.
Funny thing, I was just about to say moving on to Dark Pit, and I'm glad our minds are in sync here. Dark Pit, it's hard for me to say at this point. If he is a clone, well, the league said he is a clone. But, I feel like he wouldn't have to be a clone. There are 108 weapons in Kid Icarus Uprising. Normal weapons. Not kind of like the Sacred Treasures. Pit only uses 3 of them. The upper dash arm, the I think it's Palutena's bow?
Yes.
And the Guardian Orbiters. And two of the items are two of the weapons are items, excuse me. Those being the drill arm and the ore club. That leaves 103 normal weapons Dark Pit could be using.
I haven't seen any claws being used.
True, but if he's going to be similar like as a clone, I'd have to see. I feel like he's going to use different weapons, but in the same way, kind of like. I'm guessing like whatever weapons Pit doesn't use for his. I'm going to guess that for Pit's custom specials, he's going to use different weapons from the game. Like maybe they'll change his bow or. Well, no, we've seen one clip of his custom neutral bee where his arrows like move in a circle and stuff. So I'm guessing for some of his moves he can, like the upper dash arm might be replaced with maybe the bowl arm or some other kind of arm, do the same thing but with different principles. Like maybe the bowl arm uppercut will do less knockback, but it'll shoot a little bowl-shaped projectile above it when you hit it.
Maybe.
So,
okay, thinking about it, if Dark Pit could easily be his own character because how many type of weapons are there? There are a lot.
Left for Dark Pit, there are currently 103.
I know, but I mean the type of weapon. He can have a staff. He can have sword is already basically used.
Well, blade. But yeah, what still bothers me is the Guardian Orbiters, because I can't really think of a move to replace it between Pit's moveset and Dark Pit's moveset, because no other weapon works like the Guardian Orbiters in Kid Icarus Uprising, you know?
Pretty much.
And
Night Palm has a good defensive thing. The Midnight Palm.
Does it summon it summons some sort of projectile, doesn't it?
Yeah, it summons a giant moon projectile that stops whatever's coming towards you. It's a pretty good shielding technique.
I'd say the Reflect Barrier, but that's used by Lady Palutena already.
Yeah, so that's kind of taken. See, that's the thing about Dark Pit. If Dark Pit's gonna be a clone, I don't really see the point in having him be a clone, unless he's his own person.
Like, ironically, he is technically a clone. He actually is a clone of Pit, ironically.
Yeah, but he has a different personality, and he can have different movesets. He has more potential than Dr. Mario, at least.
Well, yeah, I get. But I will also the power of flight. Would Viridi be his goddess, maybe, and like Viridi would control his power of flight, and Palutena with Pit?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
That could be
That's
cool.
A good question.
Maybe give the shipper something to work with.
Now then.
Moving on to Shulk, neither of us have played Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't think.
Nope, neither of us have.
I'm
looking at the video link. The video link that they showed, they didn't really show him having much movement, not?
He looks like, he looks like Roy. That up special he used when he fell off the stage looked kind of like Roy's up special, and he showed a counter at one point, and I don't know why, his movement reminds me a lot of Roy, especially that his down smash where he spins his sword around in a circle. It almost looks like Project M, like a skin over Roy.
Who knows? Maybe that could be possible.
So that could be one
first time that they've done it.
That could be one thing to like discredit it. Like maybe it's because I've seen some very. If you look at Project M, they do have like on the current version. If you look at the PAT version, you could they re-spin like the percentages so it looks like the SSB4 percentages. They have stages from SSB4 as well, so like you could easily stage it if you're good enough at hacking, or just have a certain version of Project M.
Very true.
What would put that down is Bowser Jr. Because there's no character that plays like him in Smash Bros. Currently that you could reskin.
No, there is none. I mean, that mechanic of him being in a clown car, the floating clown car that Bowser uses most of the time,
Well, Bowser Jr. uses
that's
it a lot.
completely unique to him.
Well, Bowser Jr. uses it a lot too. Like,
yeah, he had it in the install Super Mario in the latest one, Sticker Star. He's an enemy.
He used it in the new Super Mario Bros. Series as well, I think.
New Super Mario Bros? Maybe. Oh, yes. He uses it a lot, actually.
That's actually a good boss battle from a new Super Mario Bros. Where you fought in the clown car. That was fun. What I was thinking was, did you see his up special in the video?
No, it went by too quick for me to see.
He jumps out the clown car, and the clown car explodes, and then a second clown car forms where he lands.
Huh, that could be a really good mechanic.
Yeah, but it feels weird to see him in the clown car the whole time.
That's the thing that makes me feel weird, because Bowser Jr. originally, I'm not sure if it's originally, but I'm pretty sure Bowser Jr. came into the series in his Super Mario Sunshine form.
Yeah.
Which means he could actually walk, he used paint. He has a potential for a whole bunch of mechanics.
Very true.
Not seeing him walk around and use the paintbrush as the actual attacking thing seems sort of weird to me.
Yeah, especially because the paintbrush has become such an iconic part of his moveset. I think he uses it in the sports games too.
He does.
I know, I was thinking like my own Bowser Jr. moveset before this. Like, he could use the paintbrush, he could summon the goop from Sunshine and spawns enemies. He could even, like, if you played, Mario Strikers Charge, where the soccer game, he has, his special moves are based off, like, high-pitched screams and yells. He could use that.
Also, I understand the use for the clown car, but if you really wanted to, you could have the clown car be an ultimate move, and you could have him summon the airships that he's... Most of his... In actuality, a lot of things that are related to Bowser Jr. in, Mario games is the fact that he's always have an airship.
Mostly he always has some form of technology.
Yeah, so he's a technology-based character, so you can always have him in an airbase, or have him summon airships, or something. He doesn't need to be in the thing the entire time. It seems kind of pointless.
Yeah, which is especially why, I want, for his final smash, I want to see him bring in one of his giant mechs from Mario Galaxy. Like,
that would be fun.
Like Mega Leg or something. Like, some giant mech he has.
Something, at least, because he has a lot more personality than to be shoved into a stupid clown car.
And don't get me wrong, I've always liked the clown car. It's an iconic thing.
It's an iconic thing.
It's very iconic for, like, the Koopas. But, it seems like the paintbrush would be much more fitting for him. But, again, Sakurai has done some strange things in the past, so who knows.
Very true.
Duck
Hunt Dog.
Right, I almost skipped over. So, the last new character it said, that this league currently presented was the not Duck Hunt Dog, just Duck Hunt. Just like how the Ice Climbers were called, well, they're called Ice Climbers. Like, because that's what they are, and that's the title of their game. Duck Hunt is, like, named after Duck Hunt, and it apparently features the dog and the duck, kind of like the dog being the main fighter, but using the duck for some of his moves. Do you think it's going to work like the Ice Climbers, or kind of like Rosalita and Luma, or do you think it's just going to be like a single character?
Well, they potentially could be the Ice Climbers, but I feel because they're a duck and a dog, that they would be their own sort of duo combination.
Well, yeah.
As though they would both team up for an attack, but split off at some other point?
Like, do you think the duck is like nothing more than like a weapon for the dog?
Maybe. It could be completely possible.
Like, have you ever played Super Smash Bros. Crusade?
No, I actually haven't.
Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a fan-made Smash Bros. Game, kind of like Super Smash Flash. The Duck Hunt Dog is a character in that game, and the dog will it will smack someone with the duck, which will then fly away and do more damage if it hits someone again. Or he'll hold on to a duck for recovery, or for his neutral special, he'll pull out the NES zapper that he used to shoot the screen.
Actually, I see those movesets can be used in what's currently going on.
The rest of his special moves are like him pouncing on people and whatnot, or throwing clay discs, like you do in the duck, where you do the aim at.
Yeah, sure, that could happen. There's a lot of very potential movesets that could happen. Also, I wonder what their special would be.
Their Final Smash? What it was in Crusade, I don't know, maybe they can incorporate this. There would be, you just it's kind of like Snake's Final Smash. You'd gain control of like a zapper, and like you'd do a bunch of shooting across. That wasn't it. Oh right. The dog would throw a bunch of clay discs randomly, and ended up with end the huge shot from his gun. I think it was something like that. Maybe you can act like Snakes, or
that would be cool.
Like you kind of just shoot into the screen and hit someone.
That would be cool. It's a mechanic that's been used before, so they wouldn't all they would have to do is just recycle it.
True. Now going off, since we've covered all the new characters, what about the returning characters? The veterans returning right now are Wario, Game & Watch, Ganondorf, Falco, Jigglypuff, Rod the Robot, Ness, and I believe that's it. So
well, if I'm seeing some veterans, either they amp up the moveset a little bit, or I really don't know. I mean, they're all really close to my heart. But some of their movesets could actually be changed.
And from this, it looks like Wolf was cut.
Oh, thank Jesus.
I loved Wolf.
I couldn't stand having 3 characters that were so closely the same.
Wolf doesn't play like Fox or Falco. He doesn't have a lot of multi-hit moves. He's got better sweep. I don't like playing with Fox or Falco. They've got too high falling speeds. They dash around. Maybe I just don't have enough skill to play them properly. But Wolf, he's a slower, heavy-hitting character, and I like him. I'm gonna miss him if this is true.
You won't be finding any sympathy from me. Literally all their smashes were the same.
Well, that's supposed to be an Ike joke. You'll get no sympathy from me.
Actually, no. It wasn't. Thank you.
According to this, another character getting the cut is Lucas.
Well, Lucas had his own little bit of flair. They could have kept him.
But the thing is, with the addition of customizable characters, characters that are similar to each other don't need to exist anymore.
What? Which bringing up the PK Fire of Lucas and Ness, there's your perfect switch.
But then again, some people will be like, well, why do we have Lucina then? Because they're different heights. And they're different people. Ness and Lucas are different people, but their moves are basically the same. They're about the same height.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't see any difference between them, except for their moveset.
Well, that is the main difference. If they wanted to, they could replace PK Charge, what? PK Flash with PK Freeze, things like that.
Yeah, it's the exact same, but they had different properties. So with our customization, Lucas is basically God.
By that logic, I thought they should have cut Falco and not Wolf. I get that Falco and Fox are ultra competitive, high tier characters for the most part, and well, at least Fox is not gonna word Melee. I don't know about the Brawl tier list very much, but well, besides Meta Knight being God tier. But the thing is, I feel like Wolf was unique enough to return, especially since Rob's returning. And everyone's like, Rob must be a one-time character. If this leak is true, Rob is back. Which
You know,
I have a problem with, really.
Rob has his own... Rob even had his own personality.
Well, yeah,
Even though he was a robot and he didn't have much.
that's due in part to the fact that, well, you could attribute that to Subspace Emissary if you wanted to.
Yeah, because Rob was actually wasn't... I think Rob was a more antiquated... Rob was actually in before Subspace Emissary.
What do
He
you
was
mean?
in Mario Kart on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
The first one.
And that'd also make Rob the first technically non-video game character in the series. Because he started out as a peripheral.
Pretty much, he was just an additional character that they decided to throw in.
Like, he was basically a controller.
He is.
And,
My thing is, I really want a storyline to this.
Sakurai already confirmed there was going to be something like the Subspace Emissary in it.
Something or nothing.
There was not going to be something like the Subspace Emissary in the game.
That disheartens me because that's what I loved about Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had a storyline, and Melee had some sort of like journey thing, right?
Classic mode?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except they had things like race to the finish and like board the platform. I hope they're coming back. I loved race to the finish. That was cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, going off of this leak, would you be happy with this roster?
I honestly would be quite happy with it because it does serve a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested with a lot of the newcomers, and you do know that veterans that come in can have a whole different moveset or a different final smash, and I'm just waiting for the potential change.
Mm-hmm. One last thing, about the videos. They showed a victory screen for Shulk with his own victory animation and pose. One thing that bothered me in the videos, we saw Ganondorf, and he has the exact same moveset, it looks like.
I can't see Ganondorf having the same moveset though. I need him to be more different.
That's the thing. The one thing against that, Ganondorf is Sakurai's main. Ganondorf is like Sakurai's favorite character to play. So I'm guessing a huge moveset shift would not be likely, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Cause I'm guessing where you're going with this, South, was that you want the Hyrule Warriors design.
Oh my Jesus, you have no idea.
It's not. I feel like that's not gonna happen. It's way too close to release date.
Yeah.
And I don't think Hyrule Warriors was in development when the thing was. Hopefully he'll throw in an alternate costume, like when you saw the new Zero Six Samus costume with her in their clothes from the end of Metroid Fusion, I believe. He said that we didn't think we'd have time to throw in this costume, but we somehow did. I'm hoping the same thing happens with Ganondorf and you give him like the Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf design.
Yeah.
Are there any characters that you wish were on this roster that aren't?
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario would be cool.
Well, we already have a stage from Paper Mario. Why don't we just have somebody from Paper Mario?
It could work. Like, he would have a completely different moveset.
Exactly, so he wouldn't be a clone. Like Toon Link.
Like the Toon Link, they're clones, but they play them radically differently. Like Toon Link is a faster, he's more sporadic mostly. Like his down air comes like straight down. He jumps around more. Like he's more of like the. I don't know how to explain it. He's just a very like erratic, sporadic character. While Link I feel like Link relies more on his specials, while Toon Link relies more on his neutral, like his A moves. Honestly, I still kind of want King K. Rool in here.
Or another representative from the DK Kingdom?
No, I'd want King K. Rool.
Nah, I wouldn't mind. Well,
You can argue for Dixie if you want. Like, I can see Dixie.
yeah.
If you're either getting Dixie or K. Rool or no one, like, I can't see Lanky Kong in this game. Or Chunky Kong. No.
Cranky Kong?
Cranky Kong. I'm about to say, the only other representative I can see is Cranky Kong, and that's because of his Tropical Freeze incarnation. But
Yeah.
I just hope for K. Rool, I don't know.
Oh no.
I personally would have wanted Sceptile.
Actually, I think that would be a good thing.
To complete the grass, water, fire thing. From 3 different generations, and...
They don't have a grass this time around.
No, and what I was thinking, I originally thought that, it'd be the big 3 would get 6 reps. Mario would get 6 reps, Zelda would get 6 reps, and, Pokemon would get 6 reps. I was going to guess the 6 reps from each of them would be Bowser Jr.,
Which we have a leak for.
Sceptile,
I would love to see him playable.
Sceptile / Mewtwo, but preferably Sceptile.
Yeah, because Sceptile is one of the big 3. Also
And-
was a really popular character. Blaziken can't be because Charizard's in it. We already have Greninja, the latest.
And for Zelda, unfortunately deconfirmed, I was gonna say Girahim.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they can surprise us with a new Zelda rep somehow.
If it's Lana, I will cry.
I don't think it'd be. I think it's too late in development. Like the roster was decided 2 years ago.
Now, maybe, hope, pray.
Like you can if you want. Like I'm not. I know. A lot of people wanted Toon Zelda or Tetra.
That could work. Maybe. Who knows?
I know.
They did it because she was supposed to be in the last.
I'm still hoping we get a 6 Zelda rep somehow. And the only other character I could see myself wanting would be Ridley. But
They've been poking at Ridley. I really don't know if he's gonna be in.
no one does really. Like, I can see all the reasons why he can't be. I'm aware of all of them. I just want him in. I will be the first to admit I am not the biggest fan of Metroid. Not that the games are bad, I just never got into many of them. So you can take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I want him in just because the reasons that people give for him not being playable seem to be some of the dumbest I've heard. Alright, that's a discussion for another video, because that would take a long time to go through.
Oh, big time.
The last question before we wrap this up. Do you think this leak is real? Now that we have quote-unquote video evidence.
See, there's a lot to disprove it, but the only thing that I can actually see making it real is Bowser Jr.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because that mechanic has never been used before.
No, it's
So weird.
I
That brings me to question whether or not it works.
like I've seen PSAs before of the Project Smash Attack, which is where like people have like they've hacked characters and like made their own movesets, but things like Ganondorf from Project M where he has a sword. So that could be an explanation, but it looks somewhat believable, honestly. I'm personally hoping it's not real. But
Yeah,
that's just me.
I'm hoping it has a basis, but what we saw in the video isn't real.
Yeah.
Like, I would love for these characters to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they aren't in the incarnation of the little video show.
Yeah, I can't say disappointed because this game's going to be great either way. But I'll just feel kind of bad if this is true. Because Sakurai goes through all the trouble to get us hyped and excited for Smash, so many twists and turns and surprises everywhere, and suddenly a leak comes out and ruins all the surprise. Like, can't you imagine the look on his face, like, when the Duck Hunt dog would be revealed, and it's an out-of-nowhere character no one saw coming, and suddenly all the hype and surprise is ruined because of a leak. So I'm kind of hoping for that reason that this isn't true, and that we can still get some elements of surprise in there. But that's going to wrap it up for this discussion, and I'd like to thank Salvador for being here to join me, and I hope you all can join me on my first countdown. See you then!